What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today is October the 1st. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is focusing on today. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, futures are red, but they are improving. So Dow is down 0.19, S&P down 0.32, NASDAQ down 0.41. So in case you missed it, there is a government shutdown that was announced. They didn't come to any deal, but market seems to be kind of moving higher. One thing that they did state before the whole shutdown was that if it actually came to fruition, they would be pausing all data. So I wasn't really anticipating, for instance, ADP or any other data points to be coming out, but it looks like they are, so that's rather surprising. ADP did come in at negative 32,000, forecast of 40,000. So definitely not the greatest, but then again, that is going to be fairly positive for and to justify rate cuts. So again, inversely, that's going to be something to watch for, as well as manufacturing coming out at 9 a.m. Current forecast for that is 49. Aside from that, though, things seem to be looking pretty good from a lot of the stocks that I'm going to be talking on. Getting right to it, SoFi is in the green, so it is having a nice reversal. Yesterday, I think in all fairness, it did get hit a little bit too hard, but it is up 0.42%. No official news, no SEC filings or anything from them. 9.38% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 110.43 or 45 million shares overall being shorted. So I don't really anticipate shorts to be that active today. Right now with it at 26.57, trading between these 2 points, so this S1 and this S2. So 26.44 is going to be that key support that you watch for SoFi to hold throughout the day. If not, it could potentially pull back to maybe that $25 range. I think a lot of people at the same time are possibly assuming that this kind of market recovery is only going to be lasting in the pre-market until the market general market opens. Then that's where you'll see a sell-off. We'll just have to, I guess, wait and see for that. But moving on, NIO is up a solid 1.84% because of their monthly numbers. So I'm not going to dive deep into this because I do cover NIO on this channel in general, and I'm going to go over all this. But regardless, these are some of the numbers, so feel free to pause it if necessary. But 11.27% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 156.03 million shares overall being shorted. Surprisingly enough, shorts have been really doubling down lately, but maybe with the positive momentum that's been occurring with NIO, this is going to be a big, nice FU to shorts and really be a natural deterrent. Right now with it at 777, so lucky trip 7, it is trading between this R3 and this R2. So 738 is going to be that strong support. And in all fairness, with it having a kick-ass day yesterday, getting above this R2, it shows that that does have a lot of good momentum. So essentially, 832 is going to be on the table as the next strong target / resistance point. Moving on, ticker LAC. So it is up 35.73% during the pre-market because of this. So the US government takes a stake in LAC. So this has been something that there's been a lot of chatter about. So Department of Energy will take 5% stake in the company, and then also will be taking a 5% stake in Thacker Pass, if I'm saying that right, which is a lithium mining project, joint venture with GM. So kind of good stuff. I think this has been something that's been talked on for quite some time now, so good to see some official kind of updates. But 13.59% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 28.18 million shares overall being shorted. So shorts have been all over the place. Surprisingly, they've been doubling down ever since that rumor did come out. So they went from around 12% short interest to a peak of about 14.78. So they are very active, so anticipate them to be very active as well today, but most likely probably returning a significant amount, because I think generally speaking, we've seen other companies that the US government has taken a stake in, but somehow magical new deals pop up for these companies. So I think big things might be coming for this stock. But 757, it is smack dab between this R2 and this R1. So 735 is going to be a strong support. 843 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. That's if you're swing trading or whatever else. But based on the volume, this is the most heavily traded stock. This one should be a good one to really watch for and trade. And then this is the second most heavily traded stock, and that is Rezolve AI. Just put out their earnings. A lot of hate has come towards this stock ever since September the 15th when it did hit its peak. So it started to really pull back. There was a short report, and this is why I find those short reports kind of comical, because it's just to spin the narrative in my opinion. But it is doing fairly well during the pre-market. A little bit heavily shorted, so 9.38% of the free float's being shorted. Works out to be 11.1 million shares overall being shorted, with it right now at 606, trading between this pivot and this S1. 554 is going to be that key point that you really want to watch for that to hold today. And then 629, 704 is going to be the next strong target / resistance points. And then quickly going over here, you can kind of see for the peak, it looks like it did have a peak of 638. So again, going back to that level, 629-ish, that's going to be a big one for today, just to watch for it close above or below. So again, another good stock to potentially day trade, as well as Opendoor. So it is up 1.38% today. No official news yet, but there is that big launch that is anticipated. So most likely they will be putting out some formal news for that. But one thing that is really pushing Opendoor higher is that there was a insider purchase. So a director did buy roughly around 300,000 shares. So definitely good to see. Aside from that, 19.53% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 138.52 million shares. So shorts have been very active and most likely will be continuing to be fairly active in the foreseeable future against the stock. But they are kind of active. I think given the circumstances of what's been coming out, it is fair to assume that they might be returning a little bit today, which should add a certain level of buying pressure. But regardless, with 802, it is trading between this R3 and this R2. So 818 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. So best case scenario, that's where it'll close above. And then 658 is going to be that next strong support. So let me know your thoughts on these stocks. Very quick overview, but things seem to be somewhat recovering. So let me know your thoughts on these stocks. Like I said, is there any other stocks that's kind of floating your boat that you are watching for? One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. So I put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades, worthwhile to kind of check that out. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.